All right, so before we jump into it, did you guys see the Unearthed Arcana that came out this Monday? It is a rule. It's a variant on initiative, authored by Mike Merles, and it looks.
I did see that, but I haven't actually read it yet.
Yeah. So the gist of it is, you roll initiative each time, right? But you don't roll a d20. You roll a die based upon, or multiple dice based upon the actions that you're going to do during that you intend to do. And so you before you roll initiative, you announce what you're going to do. The idea is that it will speed things up while still rolling more dice, because players will be more engaged in what they're doing. So here are the dice in there. We're gonna give it a try tonight. This is the first chance I've had. All right. So if you're doing a ranged attack, you roll a d4. If you're moving, swapping gear, or any other action, it's a d6. So d6 is kind of the base. This d8 for melee attack is misleading. You actually roll the damage die of the melee weapon. So a short sword would be a d6, whereas a great axe would be a d12. And if you're going to cast this, you roll 2d6 for a great sword, right? Whatever the damage die is for the weapon, you roll it, and then you go from the lowest, instead of going from the highest to the lowest, you go from lowest to highest. If you have something that modifies your initiative, like alert, or even like the bard's. That allows the bard, jack of all trades, allows them to add half of their proficiency bonus to initiative. Then it reduces the die size by 1. And if you are rolling with it, and you may roll multiple dice, right? So if you plan to move and cast a spell, you would roll a d6 and a d10 together. And for things that give you advantage on initiative, you roll the highest die twice and take the lowest. Things that give you disadvantage on initiative, you roll the highest die twice and take the lowest, or the highest. Yeah. All right. So to facilitate that, if you look in the macros, you should see a thing there called Merles init. You guys see that in the? I made it visible to everybody. Yeah. Yeah, so if you make that an action token of some kind, like put it in your action bar, or as however you want to, but if you trigger that while you have a token selected, you get a little pop-up window there. So here I'm going to put in a d4 plus 1d6 for this guy, and you'll see there that he is added to initiative with an 8. So, and then you clear it after every round, and you re-roll each round based on your action. So we're going to try that, at least for the first couple of encounters. If we don't like it, we don't have to do it the whole time. I just want to see how it plays.
I don't think it worked correctly.
It did not. What did it do?
There's something for modifier?
Yeah, so there where it says modifier, you put in, like, for example, like this, right? If you were going to roll a d4 and a d6, you would put it 1d4, right? If you were just going to do 1d6, you would just put in 1d6, right? Like that.
Yeah, it's giving me I mean, it works, but it gave me an unrecognized command.
Do you have your token selected?
When you have the initiative turn order, I mean, it works, again, but it's throwing up an error message on my chat window.
What does the error message say?
Unrecognized command / EMAS Jedediah Smartcast initiative of $, bracket 0.
Okay, let me. Okay, let me. Maybe that EMAS is a DM only thing. Let me just get rid of that.
did you have to put in the little half quotation thing around the 1d6, or did you just put the numbers?
You just put the numbers in. Yeah. Okay, now try it and tell me what happens.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, yeah, I guess EMAS is a DM only command. I didn't know that. Okay, so we'll try that, like I say, at least for the first encounter or two, and then we'll see if we like it or not. Right? I just want to I want to see how it goes. Okay, so before we get started, we have 4 days of downtime. Is there anybody who wants to do anything in particular with those 4 days?
I want to go searching for a magic item.
Okay, just a random magic item, or do you want one in particular?
Random magic item is fine.
Okay, let me get the campaign guide out here. It has the... downtime. There it goes. I think it's...
This will change her to be fabulous, but... we'll go random.
Okay. So let's make a very hard investigation check, looks like, I guess.
Yoink. Hey, I got a 20.
Oh, what?
Nice. Which actually, that's technically a 21, but...
Okay, so then that would be the first day of investigation, and then it's going to come down. So actually, with a +1 modifier, you could only achieve it on the final day, right? So we'll just skip ahead to make that a 20. That's fine. Because there's no way you could make it before the 4th day, right? You couldn't make a 25 before. So let's see what we got here. We got a cap of water breathing. Could be. All right. Anybody else want to do anything with downtime?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to see if I can use any of my local contacts with a criminal background to find any bounties and maybe do a little side questing these 4 days.
Yeah. Yes, you could. That is an option. You... So where to go to? I've got to look. What level are you?
Level 3.
Level 3. Then you would find 4 easy encounters, something that you know you would survive, and that would be then the XP for that. Where to go to? I should have these memorized by now. So that would be an extra 300 experience points. Good.
Each 4 days?
No, it's 75 each day. Yeah.
I thought I was oh my god, I should do this all the time.
Yeah, 75 each day.
All right, perfect.
Anything else? Anyone wants to?
During those quick breaks or quick rests, I'm going to create the 4 sending tones that the
Gotcha. Gotcha. Anything else we want to do before we?
healer. I would, if I could find like a wand or maybe something like with potions or herbals or something that give me a little more longevity during the encounters for healing. Because I have like basically like 3 spells and then I'm kind of just hanging out.
Well, you can. There are potions of healing are freely available. I mean, you can buy those for 50 gold pieces apiece. Alternately,
I guess I need to rob a bank then.
alternately, the One True Faith. You're a member of the One True Faith, right?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you decide that, right? You decide if you want to participate in the one, if you want your character to participate in the One True Faith or not, right? That's your decision.
We did something last week that gave me like some temporary hit points. I don't know if that's what that was.
The ceremony.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if you want to do a service for the One True Faith, you can do it like a 2-day task, which would be something like taking a message or escorting and protecting an official for a while. And every 2 days of downtime, you can get a free potion of healing from them. So you can spend 4 downtime days and acquire 2 potions of healing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Anybody else wants to use downtime for something before we jump into the action? What level is Bakbar?
Level 3.
It'd be the same thing. It'd be 75 gold pieces, or 75 experience points a day. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my mistake. It's actually it's not 1 per day. It's 1 for every 4 to 5 days. It's 2d4 days is what it takes to find an event. So it would only be 75 experience points for 4 downtime days. My memory was wrong. I thought it was one easy encounter per day, but it's 1 easy encounter every 2d4 days. So I guess actually it could be more than that. Let's see. No, it's yeah, that consumes the downtime for both of you for 75 extra experience points. Sorry about that. My memory failed me. I was going off of my memory. Okay, then. We will jump into things. Is there anything else anybody wants to bring up before we take off?
I just want to clarify what the captain's water meeting.
I think it gives you the ability to breathe underwater at will. You'd have to look it up in the DMG.
Oh, shit.
Google it. I can do that.
And by the way, Josh, thank you for handling the Discord stuff for me. Okay, so we don't need... Is there anything anybody wants to relate about their character to each other before we jump in? Because we start off having breakfast together at an inn in Leechport, which is the town we ended the activity in last time. Okay, then as the breakfast dishes are cleared, a small man in well-worn traveler's garb approaches us. He says, "My name is Jameson. I represent the Verdatis family," which is who Tusky, the guy from last week, was a member of the Verdatis family. My information is that you recently had an association with Tusky Verdatis, a son of the family, likely regarding an issue related to green dragons. That is his passion. We were expecting him to return home several days ago, and we are extremely concerned. So any information you have about him, we should address. But more importantly, a new priority has emerged. In my efforts to find Tusky, I have learned that early this morning, Fulton Templars captured a newly born green dragon and are moving quickly with unknown intent. But they are Fulton Templars, and this is a baby dragon. As you probably know by now, from Tusky, the Verdatus family has a strong interest in green dragons and would see this situation resolved in something other than the baby dragon in the custody of Templars or the Inquisition. So if you are favorably disposed towards the Verdatus family, it would be a valuable thing in our eyes if you would help us with this service.
Damn it, Tobias, you were right. We should have helped this guy.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that.
Definitely.
He says, all right. He gives you the information he knows, which is simply that the Foltars captured this baby dragon on the fringes of the Farwood and are moving back into the Alshon region. But they definitely have not notified the Inquisition yet. It seems like they are intent on doing something with this on their own. So it will have to move quickly or we will lose the opportunity to retrieve them. Is there anything we want to do before we leave?
I'm ready.
Here's the map for now.
How many potions do I have? Hey! Yeah, no, I'm good.
All right, so here's Leechport. The Farwood is like back down in here. So we're only talking about 5 or 6 miles. Okay. Then off we go. We make good time. The weather's clear. Travel out of Leechport is easy. But suddenly there is some motion from the trees. Let me get everyone's tokens over there. We got Uzir, Volkvar, Tobias, Zell. There we go.
Put the tokens on there?
I'm getting in there now.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I had to drag them over from the map. We're at them. And there are 5 of us. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah, we're down 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get an email or anything from Jesse. I don't know why he missed. All right, so flying out of these trees here are some kind of chicken-looking things with a nasty beak. They are currently 15 feet in the air. So we will try out this new initiative. So I know what they're each going to do. So I've got to.
So, would ready in action do the same thing? You just basically...
Yeah, there is no ready. You just roll for initiative, and then whatever you're going to do, you do. But you can delay. So if you're going to like move an attack, for example, you can decide, and you have a 3. You can decide to just wait and come in at any time after 3 and take your turn.
Okay.
Right. So you choose if you want to move or not. Right. But if you don't roll the movement, if you don't roll the d6 to move, then you won't be able to move. Right. So if you think you're going to want to move, then you know. Oh, I'm sorry. I said you couldn't. I'm sorry. You can. Wait. Let me look here. delaying. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, you cannot ready. You cannot use the ready action under the rules, but you can instead to delay your turn. And instead of taking your turn on it, you can simply act on a later initiative before or after others as you choose. So you can. Looks like you can interrupt someone's turn if you have delayed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a kind of reaction, so you act for them.
Yeah. So if someone moves up and you're like, well, I'm going to take my turn when they move by me, then you can take your turn when they move by you. So it doesn't consume your reaction necessarily.
Oh God.
The opportunities tax still consume your reaction though.
That makes Polar Master even good, even better. But kind of, you're never ready in action.
Yeah. Okay, is everyone in there?
Yeah, I'm looking at what I believe is the same thing. I'm trying to figure out what you were talking about with the initiative bonuses.
It's on page 3. Yeah,
Okay, so my 2d6 become 2d4.
If you have a bonus to initiative, yes.
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think it applies to all die. I think it applies. Well, for greatsword. Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think they would both become D4s.
Okay. I'll stick with the 4 that I have this round, but that way I know in the future.
What is Zell's dexterity modifier?
0.
Okay. Okay, so a couple of these will come down. This one attacks Uzire. 19 to hit Uzire. Okay, for 5, and then a DC 11 Constitution saving throw. And this one will provoke from Uzire as it flies back up.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this.
If I wanted to do a bonus action, what's that?
You roll a second die for whatever the bonus action is. Then that would be that would be any other action. It's not casting spell, so it would be another D6. Most things are going to be a D6. Yep. Right, so this one's going to fly and attack Jedediah. 10 will miss Jedediah. It'll provoke from Jedediah as it flies back up 15 feet.
Perfect. And dang it.
All right, and it is Zell's turn.
Here. And I'm going to hold for reaction.
Well, you can't move and hold. Yeah, you have to.
Are all of these 15 foot in the air?
Yes. So you can just delay your turn to a later point if you want to.
Yeah, it's not going to matter if they stay 15 feet in the air.
Well, I mean,
Just move there.
okay. So no. So what's going to happen is he's going to fly down to attack one of those. He's going to fly down to attack Wazir, and then you can interrupt him at that time after his movement, but before he attacks, and take your turn to move over and attack him. See what I'm saying? So he moves, and then you say, okay, I'm going to take my turn now to interrupt the rest of his turn.
Okay. Here.
So question about that. If we do it that way, if that's how it works, I can hold my turn, wait until one of them is in combat with someone else, and then I get to attack?
That's the way I understand it, yeah. And in the extended example he has, things like that happen. Like you end up with these stands-offs where...
What?
Okay, so then he's...
That's pretty stupid, but I like it.
okay, so let's see if he...
I mean, stupid is good.
Alright, so he changes his mind and attacks Zell instead of Wazir.
How the bloody hell did I roll a 7?
You rolled a 2 plus 3 plus 2, yeah. So 22 to hit Zell for 2 points. And he'll provoke from Zell as he flies back up out of range.
Try this again. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Roll damage.
Okay. Jedediah's turn.
Do I also need to do the DC con save?
Oh yeah, you need the con save as well. Yeah. Okay. So you are currently restrained. And it'll be Jedediah's turn.
Jedediah is going to hold until one of them enters combat.
Okay. Tobias's turn.
This one here just has to make that save versus Dex for my Sacred Flame.
Okay. What's the DC?
I guess it's just a Dex check. It says if they have to save versus Dex.
Yeah, he's got a 14. I don't know if that saves or not.
I don't know. It just says makes a dexterity saving throw in the spell.
Right, and I need to know what the target is on that. It should be your spellcasting modifier plus your proficiency bonus plus 8, and I don't know what that is.
Spellcasting modifier is plus 3, so 8 plus 3 plus what?
Plus your proficiency bonus, which would be 2. All right, so he succeeds. Wazir's turn. I think you're muted there, Josh.
Yeah, sorry, just not good. I'll wait for anything. If anything comes, see the
Okay. All right, so he flies down to Volkvar, and you're going to interrupt
As
that.
he does that, I'm going to interrupt. I'm going to move to here and take a shot at him. Pepper box.
Okay, that will hit. Yep.
Thank you. Way to go, Sneak that one.
And then what's Wazir going to do? Yeah, whenever you interrupt it, you take your entire thing as near as I can tell. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't choose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you didn't roll to move as part of your initiative roll, then you can't move. Right. Okay. Bakvar's turn. Oh, this guy provokes from Bakvar as he flies back up, by the way. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed that, didn't I? 10 will miss Bakvar, sir. And then he provokes as he flies up out of range. That'll hit. This is bloodied now.
There's none close to ground.
Right, they're all 15 feet in the air.
Okay, I'll just wait until one gets close to ground.
Okay. This one's going to fly down, and he's about to attack Zell, which will...
Yeah.
Okay. 15 hits, I think, yeah. But he's still going to attack Zell. A 20 to hit Zell for 5. And then he will provoke from Bokvar as he flies up.
Would that count as that from using my reaction?
You haven't used your reaction yet. Yeah, that'll hit. All right, so he actually crumples at that point.
Do I need another con save?
No, you only have one. You are slowly being petrified at this moment. All right, so that's the end of the round. So we clear that and we do it again.
So if you might have to move with it, you add the D6 with your other action.
Correct.
Oh, well, I can't move, so. Hey, sweet, I got a 2.
Okay, Zell is first. So actually, I think we're going to make that saving throw at the end of the round. Give everyone a chance to do something if they can. This one will fly down and attack Bokvar. Well, I guess he can attack either one of them at that point. Yeah, he's going to attack Bokvar. 17 to hit Bokvar. Okay, for 3.
My turn go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's your turn. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm sitting still.
Yeah. Do you have it?
Oh, man.
I just assumed you were going to delay because you couldn't move and there was no one in range. But yeah, you might have something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So this one flies down, attacks Bokvar. Bokvar starts turning to stone. And then he will provoke from Bokvar as he flies back up.
I think almost certainly. Is there no reactions with this at all?
Yeah, it recharges at the beginning of each round. Yeah.
So I used one before I acted, and then.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you used it last round. You're right. Yeah.
Is turning to stone considered disease?
No, it's a. Let's see. What is it? I'll read it to you. You are being magically petrified. Is the description? So it's a magical effect.
All right.
Fortunately, lesser restoration is good at this.
All right. So Tobias's turn.
Oh, happened. I guess I'm on.
Same thing, the 13 dex save for that one.
Okay. All right, so he takes damage that time. Ooh, that's nice. Wazir's turn.
I think we're missing some initiative on the chickens.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I must have rolled them all on the same token. Yeah, let me take care of that.
Because I was like a hold, but oh wait, there's only one of them in
There we go.
oh, they all rolled shitty.
Yeah, so we've already gone Zell, 1, Jedediah. We are down to Wazir. Actually, what's Wazir's dexterity modifier? Okay, so actually they'll go before Wazir. All right, so this one could attack either one. He's going to come down. I guess he'll provoke from, well, let me go ahead and make his attack. He comes down to attack Zell. And 15, or 20.
I'm gonna use my action to interrupt.
Okay. That will hit, yeah.
8.
Okay.
8. I'm going to expend a superiority die to. He's going to have to make a DC 13 versus fear. 13 wisdom.
Okay. Oops, I don't know what happened there. Did something wrong. All right, so he succeeds, but you do get the extra D8 of damage.
And 14 points total.
Okay, he actually will go down at that point.
Oh, really? Sweet.
Yeah. So let's see this one. He's flying down to attack Jedediah.
Okay.
But we're gonna miss a 5 misses Jedediah, and then he will fly back up out of range. Okay, that will hit. Wazira's turn. Bokvar's turn. Okay. Okay, so this one flies down to attack Wazir, which I assume you're going to attack him first. Okay.
I'm also going to see this and make my attack.
That'll hit, yeah.
Oh, shit. Cool. There's no way that's...
Your sneak attack damage is as bad as my con save.
Wow. Dix is all one. What are the odds of that?
Alright, so a 20 to hit Wazir, and then a con save. And then he'll provoke from Wazir as he flies up out of range. He's going to go down. Right. So I think we're going to call it. He's only got. We're going to get rid of him too. We're just going to call it there. Right now. All right. So immediately I see there's a problem with the reactions. Right. This whole there are no such thing as reactions doesn't work, or there's no such thing as readying doesn't work. So we got to be able to ready.
Yeah, I was reading the rules closely. Apparently, you can't like interrupt after the movement. It'd be like after their whole turn.
Yeah, which would mean that you could never get to the point where they, I mean, it would make them. It basically gives everybody the ability to fly down, attack, and fly out. Yeah, you got to be able to ready. Yeah, so you've got to be able to ready, right? But we need a couple of saves from Bokvar and Zell at the end of that round.
Oh, no. Constitution?
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, so
There we go.
we're both good.
Nice.
Nobody turns to stone. That's good. All right, so we got these 5 magic chickens laying here. Are we going to do anything with them?
Crap. We don't have. Would a survival skill be able to carve up any useful parts off of them?
I don't think these guys would be edible.
Does anybody
Not what I'm looking for.
I think.
have like a good arcana?
Yeah, I
Knows
think.
some-
Yeah, I think Arcana is what we're looking for.
Okay, yeah, I don't have that. I can roll for it, I just don't have it.
+2 proficient in it.
Oh, well, there you go.
+2.
Better. Yeah.
And I'm assuming at least someone else is. Is there anyone else who is not plus who has a +0 or better?
Me.
Mine's +1.
I have a 0.
Okay, so you'll have advantage on it, and then Tobias now has guidance. Is that right?
Yeah, I was just trying to say that.
Yeah. So
Hey, 22.
yeah, there's one. There are 5 carcasses.
So roll 5 times? Or 4?
Yeah, 4 more times. Okay, so we got 2 for sure, and if you roll a 4 on the guidance die, we'll have a 3rd. Because that 16 could turn into a 20 with guidance. No? Okay, so we got 2. All right. So we managed to extract some cockatrice liver and a couple of, I don't know, claws that looks like some wizard somewhere might be interested in.
Better known.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I'll get back. I'm being called downstairs real fast. Go ahead and continue though.
Okay. Right. So we're definitely going to have readied actions then. As you just like, I don't know why he decided he didn't want to have readied actions, but it's clear you've got to be able to have readied actions. So. So we will make that adjustment. Maybe they'll watch this video. Otherwise, I'll post it on InWorld and Reddit, and we'll see what happens. All right. So moving on. So we've got to find these Templars. And this is probably going to be a survival check for tracking. But very quickly we see that these guys are deliberately covering their tracks. We do find signs of them, but they are not easy to follow. So we're going to have to look for other ways besides just survival. We can still try survival, but is there any other activity that we could do to achieve finding these guys? So Zell, what's your survival like? Oh, he went down.
I think he said
Yeah. Wazire, what's your survival like?
No kids.
Do you have something? Do you have something that you could use instead, like investigation or even perception?
No. I have only the social skills.
Oh, okay. Well then.
Roll them, I just don't do it.
Well, okay. Yeah, we just pick the best one then, and then what about Russ? What about Jedediah? Rusty, does he have survival?
As a full-time survival.
Oh, okay. So, okay. What about Bokvar, Kevin? What does his survival look like?
It is a solid 0.
Okay. Do we have? Do you have anything like investigation? Something else that you could use to track these Templars in the wild?
The only like non-social thing might be like history, but I don't know if that can apply here.
Okay, so we might be better off just having a single one of us make a single check with advantage. All right, so we got a +5. Is that what you had, Jedediah?
Yeah.
All right, so we will help him and have him make the single check instead of a group check. So
Should I put guidance on him or?
you could give him guidance, yeah.
And that gives me what, an extra +4?
A D4. Mm-hmm. Oops.
Survival. Weapon point, but I have advantage. 23. Oh, you did it.
No, just go on.
I see we're rolling for survival. What happened?
We're trying to find these Templars. All right, so it looks like, we are getting closer. Like as after an hour of searching, it seems like we are definitely. There's less time. The signs we're finding is that we are closing the time on them because they seem to be slowed down because they're covering their tracks. However, we also run into an area infested by a bunch of insects. Let's see who gets attacked by them.
Did we take a short rest?
No, we didn't take a short rest. So looks like Wazir, Jedediah, and 3 are attacking Tobias. All right, so here is Wazir. 11 misses Wazir. Here is Jedediah, and 8 misses Jedediah. And then 3 against Tobias. 21 for 10 against Tobias. I think that's going to hit. 17, does 17 hit Tobias?
My AC is 20.
Okay, so that was pretty good. All right, so I think...
I have one question about it. That one you guys gave me the magic item last week, the Hedos, it says I've got resistance, but I really don't know what that is.
you half the damage from that damage type.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we need to do that again. So let's have let's have Jedediah make another roll with a D4 and advantage. I mean,
So you had us resistance is the spell, resistance on the damage side.
oh, okay. I thought it was resistance to system. Yeah. So resistance means that whenever you go into combat, you get an extra D4 on the first on a saving throw. Right. You can decide when you're going to use it.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Jedediah, what's your survival?
+5.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we don't manage to gain any ground on them this turn. So.
How about I take it?
Sure.
Just let me know who's doing it, and you can add a D4 for my guidance, and I can put the cantrip on you.
Oh, I'm fine. I have guidance.
Sweet.
Yeah. There we go. And
As long as someone's helping me, I have advantage.
I have a +3 on survival, so I can help.
And we wander into this part of the woods. So I need. Does anyone have a passive? Anyone with a passive perception or passive nature of 13 or better has advantage on the dexterity save. All right.
Okay.
Oh,
Whew, good thing.
Oh, wait. I didn't realize I was going to roll both at once. Ignore my second roll.
how the Buddy Scouts hate me today.
Huh.
+6. I still can't roll 13.
Hmm.
I was almost petrified.
Uh, and all right. So we can probably take a short rest as we are because we're not really doing anything strenuous. We're just trying to track these guys down. It's taking a while to do it. So you can complete a short rest while we are tracking them. Let me know when we're ready.
And yeah, no, I'm ready to try tracking again.
Okay.
Policy. You'll give advantage.
Yeah. So you'll have advantage and a D4 from guidance.
So 15. Do I need to roll a d4?
Yeah, and then a D4. Whoops.
So 18.
Okay, so yeah, right. So we make some more progress, but we come into some more wasp along the way.
Damn bugs.
All right, so we got 2 on Wazir, 2 on Jedediah, and 1 on Tobias. So here we go. On Wazir. Uh, 21 for 9. And then a crit for 25. I think Wazir is going to need some healing. And then on Jedediah, a crit for 21. And another one for, well, you're already unconscious, so you'll be unconscious. And then the last one on Tobias. Those were some nasty wasps. Right, so I think that Wazir and Jedediah need some healing. I think they're both unconscious at this point. So,
Why is it 21 then?
why is what 21?
The crit.
Because it's 10 and 11 is 21.
I'm unconscious.
Yeah.
Well, anyone knows the blessed art of CPR?
Yeah. So Wazir is unconscious there, Josh. He took 29. Yeah, he took 34 points from wasp swarms as we were searching. So, but I think. Well, the second crit was against Jedediah. The first crit was you had a 21 for 9 and then a crit for 25. And then I think that we're going to feed some potions or something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
In that case,
soon as I can heal.
Yeah, yeah.
So two people are down. Which one are you going after? Because I have a potion I can give the other person.
I can cast Cure Wounds on each of you.
Oh. I mean, if we want to say, yeah, we can do that.
That's what I'm gonna do to Jedediah.
Alrighty. I will say potion for now then.
That'll do it.
Here's here.
You can put both of those on Wazir because I just got Jedediah for 14.
Okay, sure.
Thanks, guys.
That's what I do.
Right, but we do think that we will, with another success, we think we can catch them within an hour. They seem only about an hour ahead of us, so let's have another.
11:25.
There you go.
That's
right
probably going to. That's probably going to do it. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So ahead. So we kind of need to back up here. Just like this. Ahead, sitting in a small clearing, are a group of humans with tabards indicating they are members of the Order of Foltus. They are eating, sharpening their spears, and generally relaxing and attending the minor duties of a hasty camp. Among the Fultons is a bound, tiny green dragon that does not show any signs of movement. So up here are some Fultons.
Have they seen us yet?
I don't think we're being particularly. Are we a sneaky group? I mean, I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We like
Yeah. So, so what are we going to do about the Fultons? They're having their short rest as well. Probably they encountered some damage too, and are spinning their hit dice as well because they're in the same environment we are. So each one of them has leather and is carrying a spear, just in case you were curious.
We can try and talk to him, and if we can't get anything diplomatically, we can try and figure it out. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can try it.
I don't know. We can try to talk, but Josh says it's probably not a good idea.
Fultons tend to be stubborn. That's true.
Then let's go in guns blazing, or swords. I'll go in guns blazing.
I like that idea.
Do it.
I think we are waiting on Zell, right?
Probably.
All right. So I guess then we head out into initiative. Yeah. Each of these guys is going to move and attack, I think. Yeah.
We're still doing the new initiative.
Yeah. Right. But we are going to we are going to incorporate readied actions though. So we're going to ignore that part of it, and you can ready an action. Otherwise, it seems
Okay, so same initial rolls, but ready actions are a thing.
right. Readied actions are a thing.
Are
They are not surprised. No.
Didn't hurt to ask.
What's the turn tracker for you?
Oh, let me get it open there. There we go.
Now, hold on. With the movement die or any initiative modifiers can go down to a D4 as well, right?
No, you only reduce the one die, whatever your biggest die is.
Okay, that'd be my great sword.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Dang freaking Jedediah over there with that one and it.
All right, Jedediah, you are first.
I'm just going to take a shot at this one right here, which isn't working. Oh, that one right there. I'm just going to take a shot. And where's my character?
Go for 14 to hit these guys. Okay, that's going to hit.
That'll do it.
Where's the dragon in relation to this menagerie of
It's like
Templars?
he's like right out here in the middle. They're pretty proud of him. Yep. Oops.
Okay.
Yeah, so he'll move up here and throw a spear at Jedediah. Uh, 17 to hit Jedediah.
That hits.
Okay, for why is that magic? I don't think these are magic if it makes a difference. If anyone has, I think that's a carryover from a different campaign. All right, so 8 piercing damage. I think it'll be Vokvar's turn.
Okay, alright. Up here. And I just ready my attack. If anyone gets in range, press it.
Okay. Yeah, so he gets within melee range.
Alright.
11 will miss. And then he's going to attack. So 23 for 4. So I'll move up and attack as well. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, that last one was a crit, so it was actually a 23 for 5, not 4. All right, so then a 21 for 3, and it is Wazir's turn.
What was it, crit?
That 23, he rolled a 19, and that's actually a crit for them. So it was.
Oh,
It was-
okay, yeah.
So, dying or not?
Yeah, this one took a pepper shot from Jedediah.
Good. I equal to 9.
Okay. Right, so he's bloodied at that point. Well, he's going to attack Wazir. 20 for 8. It is Tobias's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna cast my preserve life, and it's 10 hit points. I'm gonna split them evenly between Wazire and Bakbar, 5 each.
Okay. Anything else from Tobias?
No.
Okay, Zell's turn.
I am going to fancy myself an adventurer and move right here. And I'm going to attack the bloodied gentleman.
Okay. It's going to miss.
Yay!
This one, he's going to attack Uzire. So he crits Uzire for 9. And that takes us to round 2. Tobias and Azir, what is your dexterity modifier?
It is 2 plus 2.
Okay. So I guess he's going to move around here. And he attacks Wazar. 23 for 6. Actually, that's going to be a crit. So 12 for 23 for 12 against Wazire. It is Tobias's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on this one. So he needs a Dexterity DC 13.
Alright, so he succeeds.
Okay, you said if I cast a cantrip, I can do my bonus actions heal spell.
Well, did you roll 2d10 for initiative?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, each one, you got to roll an initiative die for each action you're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Wazire's turn. Uh, 14 is what we're looking for. Bakvar. Now that hits. And now he is bloodied. Anything else from Bakvar?
I'll use my spike.
Oh, okay. Another 7. Okay. Jedediah's turn.
Alright, I'm going to sneak attack the one right here behind these guys in combat. I'm going to use a grit point to get advantage on my attack roll. I haven't used that mechanic yet. First damage. Oh no. Okay, I'm doing something wrong, but. And then sneak attack, 3 bucks to 1.
So, alright, he's bloodied.
And then I'm going to drink a potion.
Okay. Okay, so it is. Wait, how are you drinking a potion?
I rolled use any other action of D6, so I have a potion I'm just going to pull out and drink it.
Well, no, it doesn't give you an extra action. You have to have the. I mean, you have to.
That's not a bonus action. You're right.
Yeah.
Then never mind. I can't do that.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm good. I'm done.
Okay, so it is Zell's turn then.
Going to be attacking the bloody one above Uzziah. For 11. And since I hit him, I'm activating a superiority die for sweeping attack to attack the one above me. And that one takes 6.
Okay. How to look this. Which one? I'm sorry. Which one are you hitting again? The one who's this one. Okay.
Yeah, so the bloody one above Uzziah, I hit for 11.
Okay, he goes down.
Sweeping attack. Alright, and so this one right here takes 6
Okay.
from sweeping attack.
Gotcha.
And because this one fell as a result of my attack, I'm also initializing another attack against him. For 8 points.
Okay. He's bloodied now.
And that's it.
Okay, so this one is going to try to shove Wazir prone and then attack him. So Wazir needs to beat a 22 athletics or acrobatics check. Alright, so Wazir's prone, so that's going to be a 21 for 7. Which is, I believe, puts Wazir unconscious. Oh, you do? Okay. Alright, so then this one's going to action surge and attack Wazir again. So it's going to be a 19. Does that miss? Or does it? Oh, okay. For 6. Is Wazir still up? Okay, so this one is going to try to shove Zell prone and then attack him. So Zell needs a
Yeah, that's a no.
yeah, okay. So then a 12 will miss Zell. He'll action surge and he'll attack Zell again. But 11 will miss. Tobias. Oh wait, is that? That's it. Yep, that's the end of the round. So into initiative we go again. What are these guys going to do this turn? At the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, but I didn't have the time.
Right, so you would just roll a d6. Yeah, could be any other action.
Wow, I didn't roll too bad for having. Nice.
What's the potions of healing? How much do those heal?
2d4 plus 2. Okay.
For purposes of Tide, I have a 0 dex mod, by the way.
Oh, shoot. That's funny. Try that again. I was rolling skill checks and not initiative. Okay, let me see. I got all 4 of them in there. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Bokvar, you are first.
I'm gonna touch Vizier and give him 10 points from now.
Okay. All right. Jedediah.
I'm going to attack the one I attacked last time, the one between me and everybody else.
Okay, that's going to miss.
That's okay.
Well, since Wazir's already prone, this guy will attack Wazir. 23 for 6. And then I guess he will action surge. Oh, I'm sorry, that is a crit. So that would be 23 for 8, or for 11, not 6. Yeah. Then he'll action surge. And he will do another crit for 11.
Good night. These guys hate you.
Alright, so this one will try to shove Bokvar prone and then attack Bokvar. 23 athletics check. Alright, so you're prone, but a 15 still misses you, right, Bokvar?
Yes.
Alright, so is Wazir up or is he down? Okay, so death save for Wazir.
If I did wake up before it was my turn, would I just not have a turn? Because I chose to take another action, or do I have to, so I can choose to take an action?
You know, that's a good point. I'll put that. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't. That's not. There seems to be a lot of not even fringe cases that are not well addressed in this initiative. Yeah.
I think those are pretty much probably up to interpretation by the DM and the players.
Yeah, I'd probably say like if you roll a d6, you could do any action that would require a d6 to take it.
Right.
And
What would you?
Okay, so this one is going to try to shove Bokvar prone and attack.
I think I'm already prone.
Oh, Bokvar's not. Oh, okay. All right. So then he will attack Bokvar twice. Or he will attack Bokvar and then action surge and then attack Bokvar again. 20 to hit Bokvar
It does this.
for 8.
It just wants you in the ground.
Zell's turn.
Awesome. I'm attacking the one north of me.
There's for 14 is their AC.
I wish that was a crit. 10 damage?
He is barely hanging on, yeah.
Oh my god, no, action surge.
You're action surging?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
That son of a bitch is going down.
Yeah, he will go down at that point.
Awesome. So now I'm gonna go boom, come over here to this guy, this one, and smack him. And son of a bitch, I miss.
Tobias's turn.
I rolled to move and cast a spell, so I'm going to come up here and cast Cure Wounds on Wuzar.
On far with a 1.
10 points of health.
Okay.
You really do.
It is Bokvar's turn.
I think we started.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah. There are 3 of them, aren't there?
Oh man, look at all those crits.
Jedediah, you are first.
Sweet. I'm going to attack this guy. Sneak attack at him. another attack yet. And
Are you a halfling by any chance? No.
what was that?
If you were a halfling, you get to roll that again. That was kind of a joke. Yeah.
No. Well, and a jab my gun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you jam your. I forgot about you. Yeah. All right. So this one is going to attack the prone Bokvar. An 18 to hit Bokvar. Okay, and then it is Wazir's turn.
He gets a turn? He gets a turn!
So the bloodied one, I'm assuming.
Okay.
Is that the bloodied one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he's bloodied, but he's still up. Anything else from Wazir? Tobias's turn.
This one here, just a dex saving throw.
Okay. He fails. Yeah, so he'll take. Bokvar's still prone, so he'll attack Bokvar. 21 to hit Bokvar for 5. And it is Zell's turn.
We'll tell you that one.
13 will just miss. Yeah. Bokvar's turn.
I guess. And, well, no, I probably can't. I didn't roll to attack, but I'm prone, so.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and stand up since we're not actually moving.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the guy with my raid.
That's right.
Okay, 11 will miss. Okay, so well, he's going to move to here. He's going to try to shove Tobias prone and then attack Tobias. So 26 athletics check.
To the ground.
Right, so Tobias is prone. Does a 19 hit Tobias?
No.
Okay, Jedediah's turn.
Again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're back into the next one.
So what do I have to do to get back up? Like,
Just stand up. Yeah.
okay.
If you're not going to move anything other than just stand up, just don't even count it. That's another one of those. It's not really a situation that's addressed in this. 3 of them.
Oh, Tobias won.
Tobias.
Holy crap. I am going, the one that knocked me prone, I'm going to do the Sacred Flame on him.
Okay. He succeeds. Zell's turn.
Pretty sure Jedediah has a higher dex than I do.
Okay. Yep. Jedediah. Yep. Jedediah.
Alright, I'm going to attack this one because I've been having luck taking this guy out. And, motion I can't.
Did you roll movement too?
No, so I'm just going to grab a dagger and throw it. 'Cause-
Oh, your pistol's out. That's right. Yeah.
Sounds jammed, yeah.
So, I'm going to look at it. Crap, I can't do that. Just throw a dagger instead. And next.
Damn it, Lucille.
All right. Zell's turn now. What does it take to unjam your?
Frickin' hell yes.
What does it take to unjam your gun?
An action and Tinker's check.
Oh, okay.
I think DC 10.
Question then. So say if
Son of a...
All right, so this is going to try to shove Zell prone and then attack Zell. So 19 athletics check.
Hey! I actually fall.
Yeah. Then it's going to be
22 hits.
22 for 6. Right, this one's going to try to shove Tobias prone and attack. I don't know if he's going to shove Tobias prone. Right, and then a 17 misses Tobias, right?
Yes.
Okay, Bakvar's turn. Tobias's turn.
Now we're at the new.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, question. So, for example, you know, it's underground. Say, for example, you know, you have one high damage die from the gun. It is not usual.
Yeah, I don't. That's another good point. Yeah.
Are range attacks always a D4, or is it actually a damage attack?
No, it's the range attack is always a D4. Yeah.
If you have any additional bonuses to initiative, it becomes a D3.
Yeah, that's another question. I don't know that.
Yeah, what's the bonus to initiative?
So, alert would count.
Jack of all trades, Stone of good luck.
Yep, which I have.
Yeah. All right, so this one is going to try to shove Tobias prone again and then attack Tobias. He's mad at Tobias. 16 athletics check or acrobatics from Tobias. He does not.
Flexing, son.
But he does crit Tobias for 6 points of piercing. And it is Zell's turn.
Actually, I think it's my turn.
You didn't order it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah, good point. So actually, Jedediah should have gone first.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to try to unjam my gun, which is just a DC plus a misfire score, so I just need to roll a 9.
No!
Nope.
Zell's turn.
Sweet. I'm gonna stand up and smack a dirt bag in front of me. Oh, thank God.
Okay. Yeah, he goes down.
Holy cow. Keep hoping for a grid-like system. It's not working.
Yeah. Oh, a crit.
Holy cow.
This could take this one down. Not quite, though.
Oops, priority die time. Going for a trip attack, you need the DC 13.
Well, roll your damage. Roll your damage, you may. Okay. DC 13. Whoops. It's a strength save or dex save. Is it strength or
Dex save.
dex save? Okay. All right, so he's stripped. Wazire's turn.
So he has disadvantage.
Well, attacks against him have advantage too.
Right.
So
So with the maneuvers, you choose after the damage die?
yeah, you're supposed to do it before it's determined. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What now?
You're supposed to announce the damage die before you know whether or not the guy is going to be unconscious from the attack, right? But that's okay.
No.
Yeah.
Superiority die.
Yeah, superior dice. When you make the attack before the outcome is known. Yeah.
When you hit a creature, then
Right. That's what I did.
Yeah, but you have to do it before you know if your base attack is going to kill the creature or not. You can't say, okay, I hit him. Is he unconscious now? Right. That's not when you hit. Right. That's after the effects of the attack are applied. Right? You can't wait and see what the outcome of your damage is before you decide to use your superiority die. See what I'm saying? But that's okay. It didn't make a difference anyway. He was going to go down on the next attack anyway. So you reduced him to 1 hit point. So all right. So I've seen enough of the initiative. I wanted to try it out. there are elements of it that I don't like. I think it needs refinement, so I'm ready to move on to the traditional way.
There's a lot unanswered.
Well, is there anyone who wants to fight, make an argument to keep it for another encounter or the rest of the session or anything?
I like it, but I think it definitely needs some polish.
Right. There are too many situations that are fairly common. Like, for example, if you have a bonus, if you're going to use a bonus action, you're supposed to roll a die for that. But then you don't know if your Great Weapon Master is going to proc or not, right? Because you don't know if you're going to have a crit or reduce someone to 0. So what do you do in that situation, right? And that's a very common situation, right? There are lots of things that.
Also, I can only act you. So, for example, when I was unconscious or during stasis, you don't roll initiative.
Right. Yeah, because you don't have an action. Right. Yeah.
That's very.
Yeah. Not only that, but if you were to say, okay, we'll treat your death save as an action, well, then you're going to roll a d6 for that. Which means your death save is probably going to come very early. Whereas opposed in a normal initiative cycle, other players would have a full round to act to keep you from having to make that death save. Yeah, so yeah, there are lots of very common situations that need to be addressed before I think it would be.
I can create a 5-page PDF of problems with this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, guys, honestly, like the system I used to play a long time ago, the guy had an initiative system like that, and everything was just added to it. So like, say you were running up and you had a great sword or whatever, you'd roll like a d10 or whatever, and you had whatever your initiative is. Then anything after that would just be compounded to it. So like, if you had a bonus action, you would determine what it was. And say I was going on a 4, and then they had procced my bonus action to heal. I could just roll that other die, add it to that number, and then that will be when my second thing goes off.
So you could go multiple. You could do something, and then the second thing would happen after your first turn, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So, for example, with your Heavy Weapon Master, you reduce the person to 0, and then you would roll the additional die and add that to your first initiative to determine when you get the bonus action attack. That's what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
This is like your action could just evaporate. Like, oh, I was just going to do this, but that action doesn't apply anymore because the creature died or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like the whole. Because if not, you're gonna have to preemptively. So you just have to go. Oh, I might have to move this turn because the creature next to me will die, so I'm gonna have to walk somewhere else. If you predict that that's gonna happen, okay, so the action plays are impossible because you've already chosen the turn before. So it's someone else's turn. Everything could change. With
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
That's how Wizard dropped. I wasn't able to cast the bonus action because I only rolled 1d10.
Yeah. Like I say, I've seen enough to know that it's not ready for play. That either I would have to modify it a lot, or someone else is going to have to modify it a lot that I would like. I like the idea, but the implementation needs a lot of work, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we've got. Are we killing these Templars? I mean, they were all reduced with melee attacks, so we can kill them or not. I mean, it's up to you guys.
Everyone's like, yeah, okay.
They dropped Wuzire, so
Kill them anyway.
I'm impartial.
what were they doing with this baby drag?
Right. So the baby dragon is unconscious. The baby, it's actually not even small. It's a tiny dragon at this point. And they
They grow up so fast.
yeah. And so they were looks like they were taking a short rest. It is unconscious, tied up, yeah. So that's the situation.
I'm gonna go over and check him out. See if
I get that point.
Okay. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Yes, the Dragonborn does.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. All right. So his name is, what is his name? like Strenchern. No, that's the wrong one.
Rhymer or something?
That was the last one. Yeah, that was a different one. This is a different.
It's a different dragon.
Charunth is here. I'll put it here. The last one, you're right. The last one was named Rhyrer. Ryrer. UNTH.
I'm going to weak bodies.
Yeah, they don't have anything of value. They have leather armor and spears. That's all they have. Okay. Right. So he wakes up. He is angry and scared. And is now currently refusing to say anything. He just wants to get away.
Yeah, I'm expecting that's impossible in this. It's too dangerous to run away.
Why is it too dangerous? Why can't he just fly off into the fire, or run off into the? He can't even fly yet, but run off into the firewood and.
There's a lot of dangerous insects and plants and other effects which are likely to kill you.
Well, I'm.
Tell him about his brother that we already saved.
Steve has no idea what he is.
Well, he might not, but we do.
No idea where the time is at.
We know where he's going.
To that village, which is where I'm assuming we want to, where we have him go.
So,
Yep.
that's where the Tusky was taking the other one to. That's Vardatus is the family that has the green dragonborn lineage that has set up sort of a haven for all dragonkin who are willing to not be evil. All right, so he's not going to come willingly. We're going to have to force him to, but he, like I said, he's tiny, so he has no breath weapon, so we can force him to come with us if we want to.
I have a Scooby snack.
You could try to persuade him, sure.
I give you guidance.
No, yeah, he is.
Not much.
Yeah, he is. He will not come willingly, but like I say, we can force him to go. He's only got one hit point, no breath weapon, no ability to fly. So
He's already tied up, right? Or you gonna tie him?
He's still tied up unless someone untied him. Will he go for a Scooby snack?
no, he is.
A piece of meat. I do have some meat.
Yeah, he is unwilling to go. Yeah, so we're going to have to force him to come with us. Say again. I'm sorry.
What's happened to him that's made him start running?
Yeah, so he was hatched and grew up under this master named Sebek. I'll put that in. He's a half orc. And he was, so Sebek has several of these green dragons who are recently born, but Charunth was quite defiant and stubborn, and Sebek was very harsh in his treatment, trying to break his will. But even though he's very young, Charunth managed to escape from Sebek and fled into the Farwood, there's a tower there that Sebek has. Although Charunth can't retrace those steps because most of the time he was unconscious with the Templars. So he escaped Sebek and ran into the Templars. The Templars beat him into unconsciousness, and that's the last thing he remembers.
doesn't want to go to where he can grow up safely?
He just wants to be left alone. He's not willing to be the servant of anybody. He wants to create his own way in the world and just have everybody else get out of his way. By the way, Tobias, what level are you?
2.
Okay, yeah. All right. That explains a little bit. All right, what were you saying, Wazir?
I can respect that. I think he can do it on his own.
Well, it is a harsh and dangerous world, but he seems determined. Yeah.
Considering how those bees did number on us, I'm not confident this tiny dragon is rather hurt to survive here.
Probably he would die. That's right. Plus, he would be extremely valuable. Just as
Yeah. I think we should force him to come with us, take him to the that keep, and say, look, you want to be look, we're take you here, where you can thrive, you can grow, and then when you're strong enough, you can go out on your own. I'm pretty sure they're not going to stop.
Okay, so as we are discussing things, does anyone speak Goblin by any chance? All right, so then approaching from the south here are 4 guys carrying long swords with shields that you recognize as goblins, or hobgoblins, I should say. And they say something in a guttural language, and then does anyone speak Larian?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so when they realize that you don't understand Goblin, they switch to Larian. And these guys are members of the Horn Skull Goblin tribe. They are scattered along the edge of the Farwood. They have a long and mixed history with the Alshon region. They say, so yeah, you got a very nice little dragon there. Says, I think he belongs to the Farwood. I think he should be our property. He shouldn't be out here with a bunch of Yahoo randos outside of the forest. Everybody knows that green dragons belong in the forest.
Everyone should also know that green dragons belong to no one.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. Anytime something can be bought or sold, I would make the argument that unless it can exert its own case in opposition to it, then it can belong to somebody. Okay.
I'm afraid he's not for sale. His freedom is not for purchase. You'll have to go through me.
Well, I think that we're the rightful owners, is my point. I don't think we should have to purchase him. I think he's already ours. If you wanted to purchase him from us, that might be a consideration.
Yet he with us and not with you, so no, we're not going to purchase him.
Now, see, that seems completely unreasonable to us. You're not even willing to negotiate. We've taken a very reasonable opening position. You have something that was taken from us. Right, you've taken something that we feel we have a legitimate claim on without any compensation, and we're offering to negotiate a settlement for that, and you're just saying no.
The dragon knows these people?
Yeah, the dragon doesn't know these hobgoblins.
Okay, then no.
In common, since I don't speak, I don't know what they're saying. They're just say, like, looks like we found a snack for a grumpy dragon. Brandish my maul.
So what makes you, or rather gives you the idea that he's your property?
Well, everyone knows that the northern reaches of the Farwood are Hornskull's domain. So we know for a fact that he came out of the northern reaches of the Farwood because the rumors have circulated about the Templars and the prize that they took. So the fact that the Templars handed him over to you doesn't absolve the situation. He still belongs to the Hornskull tribe. And if he's going to be removed from our sphere of influence, we deserve compensation for that.
You think that everything that's born here is yours?
That is the assertion we are making, yes.
And what compensation are we looking for?
Well, it's just something that would impress us. I mean, we're not above loot, but if you have something other than loot that you think would be equally satisfying, that would help to feed our clan, make it a better, stronger entity, that would be fine too.
Would a cap of water breathing be of any value to you?
Why, yes, it would. Sure.
And would that be compensation enough?
You can make a persuasion check at that point.
Guys,
Then roll some guidance there.
Hold on. Yeah, it's 1d4 or 2d4?
1d4. All right, so yeah,
16.
they say, yeah, that is sufficient. What is my best passive insight?
15.
Yeah, 15.
5.
Yeah, 15 is good. Yeah, they actually seem quite happy with that cap of water breathing. Right? Any permanent magic item is going to be quite the prize. So yeah, they take the cap of water breathing and they will vanish off into the distance. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay, so back to the dragon. What are we going to do with the dragon now?
So, who's that? You're the one that's talking to him?
Yeah.
If you would translate for me, I don't know offhand if he understands Larian, but if you could, let him know that we have guaranteed his freedom, and the place we're taking him, he will be able to recover, and the place that he's going, he's free to leave at any point, but we recommend that he grows up there to some extent to grow into his abilities before he leaves.
You're wanting to take him where now?
Vardanis?
Yeah, so he, like I say, he is unwilling to do anything except separate from everybody, every humanoid he's ever seen, and go out on his own. He is completely distrusting of humanoids at this point.
I'm going to. How heavy is he? Can I carry him?
Yeah. He's only a few. He's a tiny creature, so he's like a cocker spaniel at this. Well, no, a little bigger than cocker spaniel, but like a really big house cat, I guess. Yeah.
Well, he's being carried.
Yeah, he can't resist at this point. He's only got 1 hit point left. So yeah.
I'm not looking to hurt him, just carrying him. My goal is to take him to Vardanis Keep.
Okay, so we are heading that direction, I guess, heading back either to Lichport or just straight north. When emerging, so we've traveled some distance, a few minutes at least. Emerging from the undergrowth are humans bearing the iconography of the Inquisition. There are 4 of them, and they come up and say, well, yeah, that's the very thing we were coming to get. Have you got the Templars as well? We were told to bring them in as with the dragon.
The Templars are back there. You can go get them. You're not getting the dragon.
I just exclaim, our dragon's currency in this area? Jeez.
Well, of course the Inquisition is going to want to examine any dragons that happen to emerge. Even a baby dragon is of extreme interest to us. I mean, the Inquisition is going to have people who can communicate with it in Draconic. So yeah, so we'll take that off your hands. The Inquisition will owe you a debt of gratitude, and we'll go about our business.
Were we supposed to take this back, or did we just know about it?
We just knew about it. Yeah. The Vardanis representative wants him, right? So that he can take them back to to the Rosada's family to raise him in a safe and nurturing environment so that he doesn't grow up evil.
These Inquisition people, good news, bad news?
They will probably kill him, almost certainly.
Yeah, I'm thinking like dragons grow up to be pretty smart, probably have good memories. Pretty resistant.
Yeah,
But if we save his life, we might have a good dragon companion that might help us in the far, far future.
I've already saved him once. He still doesn't like me, but unfortunately, I am lawfully bound to not hand him over, regardless of who it is, because we have a prior negotiation to bring the dragon younglings to Vardada's Keep, so that way they have an opportunity to turn out for the better. No.
The Inquisition is kind of a
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, those are lawbringers. Yeah, I know.
They are
Hence the
law.
problem.
I mean, yeah, just think, but it's fine.
I'm
So-
down with that.
Yeah, my character is unfortunately not giving it up. The dragon wants to be free, so that's my character's goal.
all right. So they say we're authorized to use force to impose our mission. I mean,
I understand. I don't mean any ill will whatsoever. We have a prior arrangement to bring him in and to have him looked after, and our prior arrangement lawfully prevents me from just handing him over to you. I understand who you are. I wish I could just hand him over to you, but that's unfortunately against the outstanding contract that we have.
okay. I guess we go into initiative then. Does anybody have anything else to say about the matter?
No, but I am gonna carefully place it in my bag so that way I can safely combat. And I'm gonna let him know to not wiggle around because I'm trying to keep him safe.
And we're just
Whether or not he understands me, I don't know.
we all in initiative. Let me see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Yeah. Okay. Well.
I had to correct mine, so I'm not in the right order.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Oh, wait a minute, I did the 1d10. So I just... I'm retarded.
Yeah,
That's a good.
just roll the d20 like you would regular initiative. You can do it off the character sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, I almost did that too.
Okay, so this marshal, he's going to back up 30 feet. And Zell's doing all the talking, so I guess that's who he's going to shoot at. So,
Yep.
I don't know what the bow or claw means.
Attacks? Oh God.
I don't know why it says bow or claw. It should just be bow. Yeah. So 23 for 4. Look at that. It should say bow or rapier. Where's this guy go to?
You need to double check that and redo it, or
No, it's just it's still the right damage, but it's just a bow or short sword.
weird.
Okay, so then the second one, he's going to back up and shoot at Zell as well. Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, so that was 23 for 9 was the damage on that. All right, so then he's going to shoot. 18 hit Zell.
Yeah, okay, so I'm confused now. Which rolls are you taking, the second one or the first one?
The first one. So it's a bow or a short sword. The first one is for bow damage. The second one is for short sword damage. Right. So.
Okay, so 15 misses.
Yeah, 15 misses. I knew that.
So then the other one, an 11, would miss as well.
Yeah, the 11 missed, and then with his second attack, he had a 23 for 9. And then this one, a 15 misses, and then an 18 for 8.
Oh, okay, so they do get 2 attacks. Okay.
Yeah, they get 2 attacks.
That's where I was confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then this one will also back up and shoot at Zell. 2 arrows at Zell. 14 and 13, I believe those both miss Zell. Jedediah's turn.
Alright, so I gonna bust out the short bow since I don't have a working firearm. I'm gonna use the attack along here in the tree.
Oh, do you only get one chance to unjam it?
Yeah, now it's broken, so I have to repair it for half the cost of it.
Oh, okay.
So short bowing it. Jesus.
No, you're not.
Boing. And that's my turn.
All right, Zell's turn.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna move. Oh shit! What was that? So I'm gonna move there. Second wind. And or sorry, hold on. I'm gonna move there. Down a potion, and then I'm gonna second wind.
Okay. Bokvar.
The guy up here that is pinged.
Uh-huh.
Where's the center gone?
Oh, he's just in the edge of the forest there.
I can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can move here, but I'm not here.
Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta try to know what them all.
That hits. Yeah. These guys are not that hard to hit. Armor class 13.
Oh, but they hit hard.
Yeah, armor class 13 is what you're looking for. Okay. Anything else from Bokvar? Tobias.
This one needs to make a dex save, and on a bonus action, I'm going to do a healing word on Bakbar. It's 10 points to Bakbar.
All right, so he succeeds on his deck save.
Never did that.
Wazir's turn. Okay. Well, oh, is that not what Wazir's doing? You were like back here? Okay. Right, so this one is going to disengage. And back off to there. All right, so I think we're going to shoot at Wazir. He's the closest. 17 and a 10 both miss Wazir. I think that's less confusing, right? They're using their bows. So.
Yes, that is very much so less confusing. Thank you.
And then And he will go ahead and move over here. This one will also shoot at Wazir. 17 and 19, did either of those hit Wazir? Okay. This one is now like 20 feet off. And this one will back up. Oops. And shoot at Wazir. 23 for 10 against Wazir. It is Jedediah's turn.
Alright, I'm going to move.
See, I'm going to put this. So this one we're going to put like down here. He's actually off this one. So imagine this scrolling over. So he's off that northeast edge up there. All right. So what's Jedediah going to do?
I'm going to move here. And then take a shot at this guy right here.
Yeah, he's bloodied, by the way.
No. See if I actually do anything. Nope.
No.
Damn, 2 sevens.
Zell's turn.
Well, I can't chase him all day. I'll switch into my longbow.
They kind of giggle when you take out your longbow. Like, they want to see this. They want to see you duel them with a longbow.
And the one that's bloodied, that's just north of me, is one getting tagged.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you guys. Each one of those 5 Fultons had a potion of healing with them, just so you know. So there are 5 potions of healing floating around there that you can distribute however you want to. My mistake.
Well, I guess it's, I'm gonna do one of each.
Yeah, everyone should have.
Fire had all of them.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give Wuzire the potion. So the one, we said, what, 14 hits?
Yeah, they're 14 hits for sure, but their armor class is 13. Yeah.
Alright, so he takes, the one due north takes 8. And that's it.
Okay. That was a ranged attack. He is dead. The parrot is no more. All right, so they look a little pissed at that. Bakvar's turn.
Looking at the situation, summon pearls not that easy to hit, so I'm just gonna start sprinting at them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me get rid of. I guess this guy's off the page of it.
No, that one is not. Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm just standing next to him. That's the end of the turn.
Hi.
What is your speed? Because you move 78 feet there.
Was that 78?
Yeah.
I was counting squares, so I don't know if I should do that. 'cause I
No, just hold down the space bar, and then you'll get a line. Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
use squares.
Right.
So that'd be okay.
Okay. Anything else from Bakvar? Tobias's turn.
I'm gonna move up to Wazir and give him my potion.
Okay. Wazire is now awake. With 7 hit points. Almost, yeah. Better than average. Or no, I guess that's exactly average, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
How far away?
Oh god.
Yeah, imagine this scrolls down to here. So this guy is off the board and then onto here.
Feels like a trap, man. Like they're goading you guys into following them.
How far away am I?
You should be about 70 feet to the nearest one. Or, yeah, about 65 feet to the nearest one. It takes half your speed to stand up, remember? Anything else from Wazire? You're going to go prone as well?
I totally forgot.
Okay, so you can go prone if you. Is that what Bachvar's going to do as well? You can be prone if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd run to keep going for him.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so this guy will back up to right, like about right there. So we got prone. Let me mark prone here. And prone. Well, then I guess the next target would be. What's that? I'm sorry. So he's going to shoot at Jedediah. 10 and a 19 to hit Jedediah.
19 will hit.
Okay, for 7. The next one's going to do the same. 9 and a 12 miss. And then the next one's going to do the same. 13 and a 23. 23.
How far away is he?
Oh. He is about, what is that? Yeah, about 100 feet, I guess. Maybe 110.
Not quite a disadvantage. Okay.
Are they using short bows or long bows?
They have long bows.
Okay.
Yeah. It is Jedediah's turn.
Let's saving throw.
Success.
Zell's turn.
There we go. Moving there, and I'm gonna shoot for the one in the back.
Okay. That's going to hit. 10. Okay.
10 points. Oh Christ. Okay, never mind.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. I keep forgetting the mechanic for the superiority die.
Oh. All right, Bachvar's turn.
So, do I use 15 feet to move to stand up?
Correct. Yeah.
I'm going to dash, so not 45 feet.
Right.
15 will get to the screen, so we're on the bottom left of it.
You should be able to get up to this guy. Either one of these guys, you'd be able to get. So you'd be able to get like to here, like within melee range of this guy for sure.
Okay, so I'm going to just run next to him, and then, yeah, stand there since I dashed.
Okay, Tobias's turn.
Alright, I'm gonna heal Jedediah.
Okay, Wazire's turn.
Quaff a potion.
Well, it would be like 30 to there. So then another 15 to the edge. You could get up to almost to this guy as well. If you want to. Like you could get up besides Bachvar there. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right. So, fine. This guy will draw his short sword and attack, I guess, Wazire. He looks like he's already been down once. So 12 and a 5 will miss, though. This guy will move over 30 feet. And he will shoot at Wazire. 18 to hit Wazire. And this one will do the same thing. 23 to hit Wazire for 10. And then we already established that 18 misses Wazire. And it will be Jedediah Sparks' turn.
Alright, I'm going to move, so I'm not at a complete disadvantage on my attack here.
Well, you can only move 15 feet because you have to stand up. Yeah.
Gotcha, alright. I was about 95 feet away, so it works. And then I'm going to attack the one next to Bakbar, who's just the edge of the effective range for a short bow.
Nice.
And so damage. Why is that not working?
Yeah, I'll go for it. So 10 and then 2d6 as well. That's nice. Yeah, he's bloodied. Zell's turn.
So moving there and still aiming for the one in the far back.
Okay. That hits, yeah.
Alright, so I remember this time. I'm expending a superiority die for menacing attack. So he has to make a 13 will save, or wisdom save.
Your age is showing itself there.
Yeah.
Dave. What is his wisdom? There it is. Okay, so he succeeds, but he still deals damage.
Takes 13.
13. Okay. He dies at that point too. But Bokvar.
I'm gonna swing my maul at the guy next to me.
That's going to hit. Are you going to kill him or knock him unconscious?
You suppose the other ones are unconscious or dead?
Yeah, because it wasn't a melee attack. Yeah, you can only decide to knock them unconscious if you render them to 0 with a melee attack.
What I mean is, are the other ones probably dead, or is this guy?
They're definitely dead. Yeah, they fell to arrow attack, to ranged attacks. They're definitely dead.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not really holding back at all. I'm still trying to sprint, so I was
Going to,
kill him.
all right, so down he goes.
And
It-
then after that, 3 feet that way. That's the energy.
Okay. Tobias' turn.
Okay, I'm guessing that we're up here where we're at. We have to go all the way up to right off the screen, and then we come up where they're at below us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the furthest I can move if that's all I'm doing is just moving?
Oh, you could get about,
Double your movement speed.
yeah, you could get to somewhere right in here, like 10 or right in here, like about 10 feet onto this screen, onto the bottom of the screen.
Ooh, that works for me.
Wazir. Fully combat effective at 1 hit point. Oh, you're unconscious?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Take a look.
Yeah. And anything else? Well, there's a lot more flexibility in it, though. Like, Like that's 40
Oh,
feet to there.
it is.
Yeah. Just- Whoops. You could get to about here, right? Or actually to about here, right? Because you were right beside Bakvar. That's a single move to there. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, so he's bloodied now. All right, so he's going to surrender at that point because he can't believe the audacity of you to openly kill three members of the three Inquisition marshals. But so he surrenders. What are we going to do with him?
I agree, it's a dangerous thing, but I can't let him live for hell of us.
Yeah, exactly. So we just committed a crime in this area, and he knows about it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but no one else does.
No one but him right now. Yeah. Although, yeah, no one but him right now.
I'm pretty sure at this point he's surrendered. It's gonna be just if you're gonna finish him off, coup de grace.
Well, yeah, he's at your mercy now. You can decide what to do with him.
Before I kill him, I'd like to know what the plan was for the baby green dragon.
He doesn't have a plan, right? He was just so the way the Inquisition works is you. Say that again. I'm sorry.
What was the next step?
He was going to take them back to the Inquisition's headquarters in Schmidtford, right? So the marshals are the ones who are charged with going out and executing the orders, right? But they don't actually do the examination. There's a set of inquisitors who actually do the examination of possible threats, and then there's another set of sector of the Inquisition that are like spies that are always out gathering information for the Inquisition. But yeah, he just he showed up to work this morning. They said, yeah, we've got this report that Fultons are trying to sneak across the area with the baby dragon. Go get them and bring them to the Inquisition. They can't do that. They've got to bring that baby into the Inquisition. They don't have the authority to just decide to abscond with it on their own. So he and his three buddies were just heading out to do a job today, and it was a bad day to be a marshal.
Yeah, it was.
My thought process here would be to ask the tiny green dragon what he'd like us to do with this thing.
Well, the tiny.
He was totally intending to kill him.
Yeah, so Charmant, he thinks all humanoids should be killed. As near as he can tell, all humanoids hate all dragons, and at best, torture them. And yeah, if you're asking his opinion, you should kill him along with the rest.
Well, we did the rest. We killed the rest. To prove that I'm not trying to, I want to prove that we're on his side. So I'm ready to end this guy. Does anybody have any other questions before I do it?
No.
Yeah, that's good. I was gonna say,
And I agree with the body.
putting them near the temple.
Well, yeah, I would note that Speak with Dead is just a third level spell, though.
Can't speak if they don't have a nose, correct?
Yeah,
That's tough.
yeah.
His name was, isn't it? Can't even have
Yeah. Yeah, you can mangle the corpses so that they can't be they can't physically answer questions. Yeah.
That goes very far in the odd direction on the world compass
a little rough, yeah.
Yeah, we're kind of,
My guy will be out on that.
we're.
My guy's probably down for it to protect his own hide, but they were killed with arrows, and the Templars only had javelin.
Do we have any extra bows we can run?
I have even mine.
I've got one, and that's my only weapon right now.
They're manual to the point, which doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I just say we kill him and then move on, and we go from there.
So we're going to do, what precautions are we going to take against them being discovered and somehow revealing the truth about us? Okay, that sounds like a short rest to me. Yeah, we'll complete a short rest as we're doing that. If anyone needs to spend hit dice or otherwise recover superiority dice or whatever.
Yeah. How many arrows do they have left?
Several dozen.
Oh, okay. I would like to take a dozen.
Okay. For
Anything else worth looting?
For my bow.
oh yeah, you don't have to worry about ammunition. Just presume that you have enough ammunition for your bow.
They had longbows, right?
They had longbows.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, if you want to swap your short bow for a longbow, that's fine.
Do they have any like distinguishing markings that would give away that this weapon belonged to?
No, they wear iconography on their tabards, but their weapons are just normal yew longbows. There's nothing inherently inquisitionish about them. All right. All right. So as we are finishing looting the bodies and disposing of the bodies, need this. I need a charisma saving throw from everybody. This can happen before you complete the long rest, so you can.
Oh shit.
Okay. So Jedediah
I
passed.
got a 13.
So Jedediah is the only one who passed. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Like, I'm conscious, but I need to heal too.
Yeah.
I'll give you a healing potion.
Still have those other 5, so you can just take those if you want. The 5 we found on the guys.
Whoops, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. And let me know when we're ready to proceed.
Seven hit points.
Are we ready to proceed, to move on? Because coming out of the woods here are 4 half-orcs.
Civic.
Yeah, they have shields and are carrying spears. And they will start in Orcish, and if no one understands Orcish, they will switch to Larian. And they will say, yeah, it's very nice of you to have recovered Churinth for us. It's like Sibik is very concerned about him. He's much too young to be out roaming the forest. He's a troublesome youth, but he's still ours and we love him, and so we've come to take him home.
I would like to ask how they know we have him.
Because we can see him. He's with you.
Where?
So he's sticking out your bed.
Yeah.
He's in my bag.
Yeah. He's not hiding.
Well, they at least know his name.
Says it was very nice of you to liberate him from those Fultons. We don't like the Fultons either. Says, but yeah, he needs to come back where he is loved and wanted, and where he can learn his proper place in the order of things. Sometimes that takes time.
And that's how we let him out.
Dragon cultists.
Say it again, I'm sorry?
Are these green dragons?
No, these are...
Green dragons?
No. Sebek is just an aficionado of dragons. He expects that ultimately he will be able to use them as a very effective means of conquering whatever it is he intends to eventually conquer. We don't know what his ultimate plans are. But the first step was to acquire these eggs and then incubate them, and now he is raising these dragons to be loyal allies of his, to understand his wisdom and his guidance, and to allow him to direct their activities.
What about these guys then?
These are his guard. These are members of his personal guard. These guys were formerly members of the Red Blades Orc tribe, but since the tribe has undergone since it was fractured, their attitude towards half-orcs has become very discriminatory, and it's very uncomfortable to live amongst them as half-orcs. But fortunately, Sibik was also a half-orc and gave us a very comfortable home where we have a new purpose and a new guarantee of our fortune and fame. We just have to be loyal and help Sibik.
These guys have shields and spears, you said?
Shields and spears, uh-huh.
What do they look like they're wearing for armor?
Chain shirts.
That's at least an 18.
Plus the shields, 20.
No.
No. Chain shirt, the chain would be 16. Shields is plus 2 would be.
Change
No.
shirts is like 15 plus 6.
14. Chain shirts, 14. No, I'm sorry, you're right. You're right, 13. Yeah. Yeah. They have chain shirts, shield, and a little bit of dex, yeah. Yeah, the chain shirt is naturally 13. Chain mail is the 16 that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, this is who he was running away from.
Well, yeah, he's misguided. He doesn't understand the need for discipline, but he'll grow out of that. All children do, right? As long as we provide him the structure that he needs to grow up to be the type of creature we need him to be. He in the end, he'll be thankful for that. And we've been provided, Sebek anticipated that there could be complications. So we're even willing to compensate you for the effort that you've made so far.
This is all sounding good to me, guys.
I mean, is this guy raising like a dragon army?
Oh,
It's not our problem.
yeah, it's not your problem.
It could be in the future, at least where we were thinking of taking him, would possibly put him on our side for protecting him in the future.
Who's there?
Yeah, green dragon should be
Oh, slaves is such a loaded term. We prefer to look.
That works, but technicalities.
I think D&D pretty much obeys the one drop rule, right? If you have a little bit of orc, then you're an orc.
I guess I'm a whole elf.
Well, damn, that means I'm a human. I mean, I already was.
I vote for not giving an order.
They don't deserve it.
I don't think I want to have this guy to have a dragon army. So.
Alright. Sounds like a big no.
Oh! All right. We thought we were going to convince you there. All right. So I guess we go into initiative at that point. Hold on. Let me clear out the old one. Okay.
Oh my god, I saw your roll and thought mine was the 2. I was like, no! I am going to activate alert for this combat, so I'm going to go up to 16.
Oh, from the magic item? Right.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, Zell, you are first.
Woo! They have, are they short spears or long spears?
They're just spears, yeah. Just regular spears. They 1d6 spears with no reach.
Is that within melee range?
Yeah, that's within melee range. Mhm.
Awesome.
Looking for a 16 to hit these guys.
That's a no.
Okay. Then this guy will step up and attack Zell. Ignore the athletics there. Armor class 21 for 6.
That hits.
Bokvar's turn.
I'm considering using the bow, but that's probably not a good idea, so I'm just going to move 30 feet closer with them all out. And...
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I need a wisdom save from Bokvar at the beginning of his turn. Okay, so you move 30 feet and ready with your maul.
Yep, anyone come close.
Okay, well this guy, he's going to move around to the other side of Zell and attack Zell. 6 will miss Zell though. This guy is going to attack Zell. 17 to hit Zell.
That's my AC.
All right, for 7 piercing. It is Jedediah's turn.
Alright. I'm going to take a shot at this guy for a sneak attack.
See how useful my moving closer was?
Cannon fodder.
And I don't know how to just do the damage. How do you guys do that?
Click on longbow on the chat log there.
I got it.
Okay.
Alright.
Perfect. And then
So a total of 13. Alright, he's bloodied. Well, he didn't like that, seeing that big hit. He's going to run out here. Seems like he moves very fast. Seems like he's aggressive at the moment.
Holy cow.
that works.
And then he's going to attack Jedediah. He crits Jedediah for a whole 3.
Oh, wow.
It is Wazire's turn.
It was unaffected.
I'll move.
Uh, okay, looks like he would have gone unconscious, except he summons his innate orcishness to fight on. All right. Anything else from Wazire? Zell's turn.
I'm going to start with the bloody one.
That's going to,
Yes.
yeah, that hits.
So this is going to be a sweeping attack. So the one immediately to, well, so the next closest one to, so on my right is getting hit as well. And bloody one takes 9.
Okay, looks like he would,
Next one takes 5.
okay. He also uses his innate orcishness to avoid going unconscious, and then he's going to take 5.
Okay.
Okay, so he roars and attacks. 11 will miss. Bokvar.
I guess step up to this stubborn orc. Half orc. Survival 11.
Oh, I need a wisdom saving throw from.
Right. Wisdom save.
Yeah. All right, yep, you're good.
12 design though. That's it.
Okay.
Side note, what's the wisdom save on?
Oh, there's the psychic damage from
Yeah, you. Let's see. Why is Tobias not in initiative?
How was that I rolled? I had a 10, something like that.
Okay. So we skip Tobias. Tobias also needs to make a wisdom save. All right, so we skipped you, Tobias. You should have gone. So we'll go ahead and catch you up right now. All right, so the traumatic stress has put them under the effect of traumatize them, and in combat they have to begin. At the beginning of their turn, they have to succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom save or waste their turn doing nothing. So what is Tobias going to do? We skipped you last round, so go ahead and take a turn, Tobias.
Okay, I'm just gonna, this guy right here, Sacred Flame.
Okay. Uh, 14 succeeds, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so now we're back caught up. All right, Balkvar's turn. Oh, Balkvar moved up and a miss. That's right. So this guy is going to attack. He's going to attack Zell. 5 will miss Zell. 22 for 2 against Zell. It is Jedediah's turn.
Alright, I'm going to use my uncanny action, disengage from this guy and move.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack the one next to his ear.
I think that's everything. All right, bonus action, and move.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Okay, so this one will turn around. This one will turn around and attack Wazir. 21 to hit Wazir for 7.
Why?
And
So Tobias.
Tobias, I need a wisdom saving throw from Tobias. I got out of order though. All right, so Tobias can act.
Okay, I'm gonna try and move up and give Wazir a healing potion.
Okay. It is Wazir's turn. All right, so he goes down. He's only got 1 hit point. Anything else from Wazir? Okay, moving in there. Zell's turn.
Swinging at the bloody one. I'm pretty sure that kills it.
Yeah, he's only got 1 hit point left. No, he's got 1 hit point left.
So, okay, so because that hits though, I am going to activate sweep attack to hit the same guy over here on the right again.
Okay.
He takes 2 from that, and then because I dropped the other guy, I'm going to attack him.
Okay. Don't you use the same attack roll on the sweeping attack?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be a crit as well. So you'd roll 2d8. Instead of just 1d8.
And superiority die crit?
Yes, absolutely. It is damage die. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. He's now bloodied. All right, and then your 16 will hit him, yes.
For 13.
Right, he summons his innate orcishness and stops at 1 hit point. Bakvar, I need...
I'm going to action surge.
Oh, okay. All right.
21.
He goes down.
And I'm going to target the next one.
How are you targeting the next one?
The Great Weapon Master thing.
You killed it.
I kill something and I get an extra attack.
Oh, you get a bonus action,
Within range.
but that uses your bonus action. Yeah, and you already did that on the first one, right?
But action surge gives me another action and bonus action.
No, just an action.
Okay.
Yeah. Bakvar, I need a wisdom saving throw. All right, so Bakvar doesn't do anything this turn. This guy says, you're never going to get that treasure. Says, I'm the only one left who knows where it is. So if you kill me, you're going to lose it all. And then a 19 to hit Wazir for 7. Or I'm sorry, Zell, not Wazir. Zell. Yeah, Zell's the one right there. My mistake. And then it is Jedediah's turn.
Then I'm going to use my. I want to make sure I can before I say it out loud. I want, since he just mentioned the treasure, I want to use the tech thoughts from the Zuff and lead it to see what he's thinking about. He's probably thinking about where the treasure is.
Yeah, so the treasure is hidden in that grove. Yeah, that's good. That's a good use.
Nice.
Anything else from Jedediah?
I'm going to say kill him. I know where it is. Kind of. I'm not going to say kind of.
Okay. That's very good. You have inspiration for that, Jedediah, by the way. That's very clever. Tobias, I need a wisdom saving throw. All right, what is Tobias going to do?
I'm just gonna run up and hit him with my mace.
Okay. Look for armor class 16. Okay. It's going to miss. Wazir's turn.
Sorry, you're all for me.
Oh, you were. Huh.
Yeah, it's not really programming.
Okay, you rolled an 8 to hit. I'm assuming you're...
5 plus 5 plus 2.
So a 15 would be just short. Zell's turn.
Swingy, swingy. Miss.
It's going to miss. Bakvar's turn. Bakvar doesn't do anything. Okay, so this guy... he's going to attack Zell. He crits Zell for 11. And it is Jedediah's turn.
I am unconscious.
Alright, I'm just going to take a shot.
I'm assuming you're going to move up here so you don't have to worry about cover, right? All right, so that's going to hit then. Then your sneak attack.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, he's bloodied now. Tobias, I need a wisdom saving throw. Right, Tobias doesn't do anything. Wazir's turn. Okay, that's going to hit. And he will summon his orcishness. Wazir needs a death save.
So,
I'm sorry, Zell needs a death save. Yeah. Yeah.
so you just saying with it.
Bolkvar needs. Okay, Bolkvar does nothing. All right, so this guy, just out of spite, attacks the unconscious Zell. Says, fine, if you won't listen to reason. A 20 to hit Zell, so Zell has 2 failed death saves. Jedediah.
I'm going to.
Damn.
It's not a crit.
Wait.
I'm going to move up close and then dagger.
All right, he's only got 1 hit point left, so that's going to take him down. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's going to. Yeah, he'd already used his orcish resistances. All right, and then was.
Have to roll wisdom there.
Well, no, we're out of combat, and we have enough time so that someone will keep Zell from dying. Yep. Yeah. If you don't, then Wazir can, because there's no other threats.
I've got like 4 left, so I'll do it.
Okay, so we have the baby dragon in our possession. He is absolutely hostile to humanoids. He's been horribly treated by humanoids his entire existence. His bias against the entire anyone who walks on 2 legs he considers an enemy. So what are we going to do with him?
We gotta get into that keep.
I vote we keep taking him to the keep.
Yeah, if we don't do that,
3 groups of people that wanted to kill you.
if we don't take him there, I think when he grows up, he's going to be a menace to humanity. So it's probably best to try and change his views on the world.
Yep. Take him to Vardatus.
Okay, then that's where we'll pick up the action next week. That's a good place to end it on. Off to Vardatus we will go.
Before we do that, can we go to the grove and find that treasure?
Oh, yes, yeah. We actually have a couple of treasures that we need to resolve here. Okay, so we had 2 of the cockatrices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Oops. Well. I'm not sure. I guess this is what is traded for the cockatrices. I'm not sure how we end up getting an iron circlet out of a cockatrice liver, but
Well, see.
these are what the underground arcanists are willing to trade for those. See, it seems like we had another. Had the horn skulls. Oh yeah, and then we've got the half orcs. There we go.
That's 447 gold total right there.
Yeah, cockatrices are valuable. There you go. And then this is the treasure that the half orcs were bringing to try in case they needed to buy someone off to get Chernith back.
That's 1045.
Did we use all 5 of the Templars potions? Were there any potions left over?
I think. Yeah, I think we have 2 left.
Okay. All right. So here's the XP. We've got the 5 cockatrices are 250. No, I'm sorry, 500. 5 cockatrices are 500. Then the fire nettles. And yeah, so then finding the Templars was also 100 XP each. Then the horn skulls. There were 4 of them. There were 5 Templars. What should I see? 1.5. And then there were 4 half-orcs. Okay.
Is that the XP amount listed there total?
That's total. Yeah, that's total. So
we get 370 apiece.
370 apiece. Yep. And then it's not very often people just openly say, "Well, we're going to kill the Inquisition, guys."
No. No.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything anybody else wants to talk about before we wrap this? Before we go into the review and retrospective, is there anything left within the actual adventure that we need to resolve? I think we've got XP and treasure. Yeah. All right. So I think we have a consensus about the Unearthed Arcana initiative. Is there anyone who wants to add anything else? I like the idea, but it still needs a lot of work, is what I can tell. Yeah, as written, I don't. Yeah, there's just too many situations that come up that it doesn't address, right? And I don't know how to fix all of those without making it overly complicated. One of the beauties about 5th edition's initiative system is it's just very simple to implement. Doesn't. Yeah. Yeah. So, I like the idea, but I don't know that it's not going to work without a lot of work. You don't like it at all, Josh? Sorry, not at all. Yeah,
well, even if you try to fix that, like let's say you roll initiative standard for first turn, and anything you do becomes your initiative for next turn. So like you choose what you do, and then you use those dice for your next turn initiative. But even then, classes like monks get screwed because they use a bonus action every single turn. So their initiative is always going to be terrible because they're always rolling bonus action.
See, what I was thinking was you decide what the first thing you're going to like, kind of like what I think it was Dave was saying, where you say the first thing you're going to do, and you roll an initiative for it, and then you can roll additional die after that. Once the action of the round begins, you could roll like, well, I'm going to take a bonus action, and you roll another die and add it onto the first one to see when that comes in. But then that becomes really complex real fast, right? You're rolling a lot of die, and you're making a lot of adjustments on the fly. I don't know how that doesn't become very hard to manage very quickly. Yeah.
That's what we did when we played. I think I played 2nd edition. It was like that, but it was set up that way. Like it was kind of like, all right, well, you're a warrior, you know, you got 2 attacks, so you roll a d10 for your initiative and then your weapon speed, and you're making a second attack, you just add that to the total.
Yeah.
So it'd be like bam, bam, you know.
Another thing
I
that
did that as well.
Another thing that hasn't been discussed, like I've been reading, since it came out Monday, I've been reading some stuff online about too, and it just hasn't come up. But initiative is a dexterity check, right? And so there are lots of things that can apply to a dexterity check, but this takes it into a completely different thing, right? So you could very well have a character built around, you know, having initiative on dexterity checks or adding their proficiency bonus into dexterity checks, and this rips all of that away. It says no, you're going to be on the same. Your 20 dexterity is on the same level as the guy with the 8 dexterity. That's a big change. I don't know if I like it or not. Yeah, I don't know if I like it or not. I just think that it would be a big change that hasn't been recognized. So.
The farm boy with a pitchfork can go at the same time as a trained killer.
Yeah.
What did you say, Josh? Right. You take whatever your biggest die is. So if you were rolling like a D4 and a D10, you would roll 2 D10s and take the lowest of the D10s to determine your initiative. And disadvantage is just the opposite. Roll 2 D10s and take the biggest of the D10s. Yeah. Yeah. I like to say I like the idea, but I think it needs a little work. Actually, I'd say a lot of work before it can become playable. All right, so then do we have any comments on the adventure? I would certainly be real interested in hearing those.
I feel Uzire's pain.
Yeah, Uzire got beat up, but yeah.
I just took 6s.
But yeah, I guess we're gonna have like archers come into play. Preemptively have a.
I think my health for one and dying roll control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt like it was hard. Like it had, you know, some moments there that were close. Like even like the.
I felt like sketchy.
Well, well, I would say even like my first encounter with the cockatrices, we had 2 people who were 1 saving throw away from being petrified for a day, which that would have been no fun to have. Oh, the swarms, yeah. The Arcs, yeah, when the Arcs came charging. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll have to think about that. That may be a valid point. Yeah, critting on a hazard is pretty rough. Yeah. That's a good point. I'll have that actually may affect a lot of things, because there are a lot of those creatures hazards that I've used, and I never thought about removing the possibility of a crit there, because occasionally that comes up. That's a good point, Josh. Yeah.
Enough to recognize it now.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody else have any observations? All right. So everyone understands the plot line, right? That you got this Sibek, who's the one who hatched these green dragons, and he's trying to turn them into I don't know if it would be an army, but it would be, because you don't need it. Yeah, you don't need. Yeah, exactly. It would be. He's hoping to get eventually some powerful green dragons that he can use to ride into an empire situation, right? And if you look in the monster manual, it talks about green dragons. Green dragons will serve someone who's clearly demonstrated that they're more powerful, right? So he's familiar with the temperament of green dragons. That's why he chose green dragons. Is they will serve green and white dragons will serve a superior master. But this one particular one, he's only a few months old, and his entire life he's been badly treated by humanoids. So he just has this virulent hatred of all humanoids. He's not able to distinguish even between like half-orcs and humans. He just knows that all humanoids, every humanoid he's ever met has treated him badly, and he's fleeing from that, right?
Except for Zell. Zell's saving his ass.
Yeah. And then,
I'd like to point that out.
yeah, so that's how he winds up alone, and then you have the Templars who had heard about the previous dragon and are looking for some way to restore their credibility. And they thought, oh, let's go see if we can't find one of these dragons. And then everything ensues there. Yeah.
Half of water breathing for him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Mhm.
Mostly after the eggs from the stadium. Oh,
That's right. So, there was a couple of storylines early in when I updated Dimgaard to 5th edition that centered around various dragon cults trying to find eggs to incubate. And so Sibak was working with the green dragon cult, but when they found the green dragon eggs, he double-crossed them and took all the eggs for himself, so that the green dragons, the cult of the green dragon has been looking for him ever since. Yeah. So what happened was, do you know what the Great Reduction is? I know that some of the new players do. So the Great Reduction, so like eons ago, like many thousands of years ago, Dimgaard was cut up amongst many powerful dragons. And then the Archfey engineered a war between them to reduce them to make room for the elves. Right? That's the reason elves and dragonkind hate each other in Dimgaard. Well, right. So in the course of that war between dragons, many dragons who had hatcheries that they needed to attend to in order to get them to hatch were killed unexpectedly. Right. So there around Dimgaard are these secret, long isolated caverns that contain unhatched dragon eggs. Some of them are no longer viable, right? So you might have a hatchery with a dozen eggs, and 2 or 3 of them have maintained viability over the thousands of years since the dragon who laid their eggs was unexpectedly killed, right? So that's where the eggs came from. Was the dragon who originally laid the eggs was unexpectedly killed during the Great Dragon War. That was the and there's a lot of myth and misinformation, and finding these caverns these hatcheries are extremely involved and hard to do. And that was one of the early. It actually involved a couple of plot lines in the early Dimgaard adventures. Yeah. Yeah.
also, well, I guess it'll come up. How big an implication is ending the mission as
Well, it would preclude, right? So I mean, so there are 2 stages. You first become an outlaw, right? So if you fall outside the good graces of the one true faith, you become an outlaw, and that's going to preclude you from being able to benefit from entities within the one true faith during downtime, or it'll taint your interactions with members of the one true faith, like priests, not like casual, not like commoners, right? But like actual members of the church and clergy. But, yeah. So then, eventually, though, you will likely have an opportunity to go before the Inquisition and convince them that it was a mistake, right? Which is hard to do. It's harder than just going before the Inquisition for an examination. But or there's another possibility, is that you could end up with another serious infraction that comes to their notice, and then you would be labeled an apostate, right? And then there's really no negotiation at that point. Whenever you are recognized, anyone from the Inquisition or the Fultons or anyone in authority would try to capture you and execute you when they saw you. So you really want to avoid becoming an apostate. Yeah.
But for now, at least it seems nobody knows that we did that.
That's right. No one knows right now. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing, so how far back in the story did you start playing? Like, how much of the story do you write and then go, okay, now we're playing and now whatever's from here is now.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking.
So presumably at some point you write up Dimgaard to a certain piece, and then like whenever you first played it, there was players or whatever. Did that still stay on, or did you?
Well, no. Okay, so I started in second edition, right? And there were a couple of groups that I played with, and we played it for several years, and then I think it started in like '96. We played it in second edition through 2000. And if you look in the Dimgaard history, those guys were the ones like that entire 3 or 4 years was all centered around this evil city of Dakar and the rise of the one true faith in Tarfindom, and that was the initial 3 or 4 year campaign. If you look at that, then yeah. So then when 3.5 came out, we like scrolled ahead like a couple of hundred years, right? So that all became Dimgaard history at that point. And we started playing in 3.5 rules, and what we learned in 3.5 very quickly was that high-level spellcasters were very destabilizing. So we either had a choice: we had to stop the game at like 6th or 7th level, or we needed a mechanic to balance out high-level spellcasters. And so that's where the Inquisition came in. And the idea there was that you now had several centuries since the One True Faith was founded, and you had these very conservative elements within the One True Faith that would offset arcane casters, right? So arcane casters were having to do making a lot of effort just to be able to adventure because the Inquisition was always hounding them really hard. Same thing with non-humans, right? Because non-humans were much weaker compared to other races in 3.5, and then from the timeline, I quit playing in 4th edition, and then when 5th edition came out, I really didn't scroll forward the way I did in 3.5. I just sort of picked it up where we'd left off, and.
So the actions of players beforehand, like written in the book. So are there like specific characters that come up in the book?
Oh yeah. Tarfon was actually a paladin in the original campaign. He actually founded Tarfindom, and the founder, the One True Faith, was the. So what happened was there were 2 players, and one wanted they were both clerics. One wanted to follow. I don't remember what the deities were, but one wanted to follow a deity out of the Forgotten Realms, and one wanted to follow a deity out of Greyhawk. And so the One True Faith came from is like, well, how can we accommodate both of those deities in the same setting, right? And so that's where, the 3 of us worked out over a weekend the theology of the One True Faith and allowing intercessors from virtually any pantheon you wanted into Dimgaard. Yeah. Yeah. I've always found that it's good. Like what I'm working on now, and I'm working on using renown much more. So I've got to develop some organizations and factions. That's the reason I emailed you about Garrett and the fall. He's going to be one. I'm basing one of the broader. I should be publishing a new Dimgaard campaign guide within a week. It's in editing now. That should have all that in there. So, yeah. Okay, so we got sidetracked there. So I felt like it was hard at times. The one thing that concerned me was the possibility of petrification at the end of the first encounter. which that would be very bad if to have PC. Well, I think lesser restoration gets rid of it, right? Is that right?
No. You have to have greater restoration.
Would dispel magic? Yeah, it's a magic effect. It definitely says it's a magic effect, so you could target it with dispel magic. So yeah, so maybe I need to make sure that there are at least some scrolls of dispel magic to get rid of the petrification, because that would be no fun to lose 2 characters in the very first encounter of a 4-hour session.
I have had worse things happen.
Yeah.
Notice that Palladium has a character creation system where you don't just make a character, you actually have to roll for certain events to happen, and based on how you roll is how your character comes about. You can die in that.
So you could die in character creation.
Yes.
That's funny.
And here on Sundays, I'm actually about to start. There's a Conan variation that has a similar character creation setup. So yeah, that's a thing. But even if I die, I will come back stronger.
Okay, well, I think that's everything I had. Does anyone want to add anything before we call it a night?
Good.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a good session. I enjoyed it. It was fun and productive, and I'm glad we got to look at the.
There was a nice amount of difficulty in that. I say this, and both fighters have been dropped this session.
And we like end the session with 0 healing spells and stuff available.
Oh, I still have 3 potions of healing.
Yeah, that's all I got. I just can't wait till I get a couple more levels where I get some spells, man. It's so hard trying to ration them.
Yeah. 3,700, I think 3,600.
Wait.
Yes.
So
It goes
4 is after 2,700.
2,700. Yeah. I said 37. Yeah, it's 27. So yeah, it goes 300, then 600, and then 1,800 to level 3. Yeah, if you look at the range, right, it's like 300 XP to second level, and then 600, and then there's a big bubble there, 1,800 to third level. I guess they really wanted you to get comfortable with your third level archetype stuff before.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's probably not too far.
Yeah, some of the and Josh knows this, but some of the campaigns are set up to where the idea is you have 1 episode per level, and man, third level is it's hard to squeeze in all that XP into, because you end up having to have like 16 or 17 events to get from second level to from third level to fourth level, and that's just a. All right, yeah. So yeah, traps are an optional XP award, right? which I employ in those campaigns. Yeah. So are story awards. Well, I can tell you what I use, because I don't think there is an actual written mechanic. But what I do is I gauge how difficult that hazard is going to be as far as resources consumed to a combat. So if I think, yeah, this is going to be about like a hard combat, or maybe between a medium and a hard combat, and then I'll look on page 82 of the DMG and look at the XP award for that type of combat at that level, and that's the XP I will assign to. So if it's a medium encounter for that group at that level would be 500 XP, and I think, yeah, this is going to consume about the same resources as a medium encounter would, then I'll award it a 500 XP. Right? Or if hard was 1,000, then I would award 1,000.
Right. How about like event rewards?
Now that's completely open-ended. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't think there are any guidelines to use as far as awarding XP for story awards. I tend to be conservative. I will usually award a couple if for those third level adventures, because they're so big. I have to include a couple of story awards, and I will usually take something like a medium encounter and have 2 story award milestones that award the same XP as a medium encounter. But I don't think there's any guidelines on that. I think that's completely up to the DM.
Do we get any XP for delivering the Green Dragon?
Well, in this campaign, we're not using story awards because we're not progressing. We're using the very base XP awards.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Killed the next one then, right?
Now be like, hey, we gave you the first Green Dragon. Here's the second one.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the organizations I'm working on is the Verdatus family, and earning renown with them. Yeah. So I expect that we will achieve some rewards from that when we get to them. Yeah.
A +5 Vorpal Greatsword?
Yeah.
That's a healing.
Well, here, I'll show you. I'll post some stuff from the draft here, right? Like, so there are a couple of reasons for that. Here, let me. Like, here's the follow. This. You can call it a meta organization or a faction or whatever. This is based upon one of Josh's characters in another campaign. I don't know. I'll post. This is what it looks like. Well, yeah, we're also chat. All right. Right. That's what the meta org centered around it looks like. Right. So you have a history, you have renown, and what you can do at each renown. All right. So back to the level 10. So there are a couple of things. By far, the preference amongst most players is tier 1 and 2, right? Like if you in survey after survey, people are like, well, what do you? In fact, the answer that comes up most is, what level range do you like, is usually around 7th level. People just like that level because it's manageable. Your abilities are manageable. The stories don't need a lot of explanation. Like, so for example, if you're 20th level, the things you're doing, or even like 15th level. Yeah, if you're like 15th level and you're like, well, why isn't some, deity doing this? Why am I as a PC, a hero, charged with this task, right? And you also have to explain, like the things get so big, the events are so big involving those characters that you have to explain it in relation, how does this not destroy the entire world or whatever? Yeah. So, and you don't run into, so in that range, you end up with really solid plot lines that people can relate to, and you're not so delicate that you have to be careful the way you are at first level for sure, but even like 2nd and 3rd level, right? So you can be rather adventurous, so that's the reason. That's one reason, and then the second reason is actually a consequence of the first. Like the other people who use my stuff, I have an affinity for higher level stuff. I will tell you, I like the.
I agree. I love high level stuff.
Yeah.
I just find that sort of tension, as you rise through progression.
Yeah.
It's just more exciting.
Well, I can tell you, for me as a DM and a writer, it is much harder to challenge PCs at 15th and 16th level. They just have so many resources to draw on, and it's so hard to tell what they're going to do. And so I like that challenge as a writer and a DM. But that's me. But I have an audience that I have to listen to. I have a set of other DMs, and many of them have been very supportive and very dedicated. And they're like, yeah, we really would prefer much more of the 3rd 3rd to 10th level stuff than the 15th to 20th level stuff. And so, and that goes back to the earlier thing. That just seems to be a preference of players, and so it is very much a response to them. I don't like to force them.
Generally, like, people's campaigns don't last long enough for them to get high enough level. They sort of fill them out before then.
Yes, and it's very, very hard to join a 15th level group cold. Because there's so much going on with a 15th level character. It's just really hard to come into a 15th level group
Yep.
Yeah.
That cursed belt of sex change, man, does wonders.
Those are all. This is a great questions. Great discussion. I really appreciate it, guys. Anything else before?
I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Oh, okay. All right. Then we will call it a night, and I will see y'all next Wednesday. There's one other thing I wanted to, before you go. If anybody wants a copy of these, I don't mind forwarding them to you. If you want to review them and add notes or something like that's welcome and encouraged. It's not an obligation. Say again.
I said I would love that.
I would totally read through it.
Building worlds.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so I'll just send a group email to ask who wants copies of it. Because like this one, I will have ready for my content editor by Friday. So I will send that at the same time that I'll send. So I'll send out an email tomorrow asking who wants that copy as well. All right, excellent. Thanks, guys.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever play in Dimgaard? So someone else is here in your game.
I have it in 5th edition. Now in 3.5 I did. Yeah. There were a couple of other DMs that we would rotate on who DM'd it, and but really I try to make most of Dimgaard very collaborative, so it's not like I enjoy some great advantage as a player.
No.
So yeah, that's another good question. Yeah. All right. Well then, I'm gonna go see a movie. I'll see you guys next Wednesday.